Hello. Hi guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Alright guys, so we will be starting by 10:10, alright? Please ask others to join. If someone can share the link on the WhatsApp group, that will be helpful. Right? Please share.
Hello, sir.
Hello? Yeah, who was it? Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi.
Sir, I have a doubt on 2DL's concept. Uh, how can you swap the columns, sir?
Yeah, we will be having a look at that, right? We will be covering that in today's class.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, guys, I guess let's start with today's class, right? Right, it's almost 10:10, yeah. So let's start with today's class. Today we will be like starting with the new assignment, that is 2D arrays. Okay. Now, is there anyone who is facing like any issues in the previous assignments as of now? Right. If there is no one, so let's start. Right. So yeah, guys. Today I would like highly request you, please, if you have anything to like speak, or so rather than like saying it on the chat, please unmute yourself and speak out loud, because today I won't be able to like keep a track of the chats, right? So please make sure. Please tell me, is the screen visible right now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes.
sir.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Okay. Just give me a second, please. Guys, is the screen visible now?
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm like facing some flickering issues. I don't know why. So that is what I was trying to figure out. Um, yeah, my screen is frozen. Guys, just give me a second. I will be rejoining because my screen is flickering a lot. Just give me a second.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, guys, is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I was facing like issues. Still, I guess it's. Okay. So yeah, let's start with today's question, right? Let's start with transpose of a
Spirally
matrix.
traversing a matrix, please, sir.
Let's go one by one, right? Spirally traversing a matrix will require like some basic knowledge of 2D traversals, right? Because in that case, we will be requiring forward directional traversals, right? So before that, let's have a look at some simple two traversals, right? Okay. Right, because directly jumping too hard will like make some students not understand, right? So let's start with transpose of a matrix first. Okay. So let's try and understand what is the problem description. Write a program to find a transpose of a matrix of a square matrix of size n cross n, right? Transpose of a matrix is obtained by changing rows to columns, right? So portal not working today. ऐसे क्या होगा portal को? It is done. अच्छा ये हो गया है? ये problem is it done? Right, in the main class or what? You personally solved it.
Personal.
अच्छा ओके यार ऐसे मत बोलो भाई पता दिक्कत आती है पर्सनली करा है तो बोलो सर आई एम डन राइट okay so I guess for let's create a scanner class right so first of all the problem description says that we need to like print out the transpose of the matrix right so for that I believe you guys know ki first we need to take an input right of a 2D matrix for that we need to create a 2D matrix once we will be taking the input and as per the given description we will be like switching the rows with columns now what does that means let's have a look s is equals to is new scanner system dot in right so simple scanner class now we need an integer array right let's create let's keep it matrix right so integer matrix it's a 2D matrix right so is equals to new int right of size n and n right for that we also need the size int n is equals to sc dot next right so time conversion bata देना last में पूरा वाला if we got a time right we will be discussing right so this is how we declare a 2D matrix okay now we need to read for the values now how do we do that for int I is equals to 0 I is less than n I is less than n I plus plus right so let's take the input rather than that we also need a for loop nested for loop int j is equals to 0 j is less than n j plus plus all right so matrix at I j right so we will be seeing in this value sc dot next int okay now we are done with the creation of the spiral matrix part right now what is left is the conversion of it to the transpose matrix right now we need to print out the transpose so let's simply do that okay now how can we do this transpose we simply need to convert rows to columns right so let's do that for int I is equals to 0 I is less than n I plus plus all right for int j is equals to 0 j is less than n j plus plus all right so let's do system dot out dot println matrix. Now see guys, what does the like change in rows and columns means? See, you can see initially when I'm taking the remove the blue patch, I didn't got a point. Blue patch,
सर स्क्रीन में पैचेस दिख रहे हैं, शो हो रहे हैं.
Yes, sir,
Yes,
on
sir.
the
Yes,
left
sir.
side.
अभी अब
सर 2 दिख रहे हैं अभी.
अब ठीक है
No,
सर.
no,
हट गया
sir.
सर.
No, it's okay.
अभी
अच्छा
हट
तो
गया
वो पैच यार तुम्हारी चार्ट विंडो का था, राइट? वो अब मतलब फिर मैं तुम्हारी चार्ट नहीं देख पाऊंगा, राइट, लगातार. तो बस वही, कोई बात नहीं, अनम्यूट करके एक बार बोल देना, ठीक है?
ओके
Okay.
सर.
Yeah. So I was saying कि now see, we need to print out the transpose, right? So you can see when I'm taking the inputs, right? I hope the basics of the 2D array is clear. The first attribute is for the rows and second attribute is for the columns, right? Now switching of rows and columns means that we simply need to do this, right? Matrix at J and matrix at I, right? So you can see initially when I'm taking the inputs, I'm considering I as the row and J as the column. Now while printing, I'm considering J as the row and I as the column. So that's basically switching. Okay. Any errors you guys are able to find in the code?
Sir, वो print होगा ना sir?
Yes.
सर नेक्स्ट लाइन पे प्रिंट होगा सर.
Next line print.
Okay. All right. So yeah, for that we can do this. Yes. Thank you for that. Okay. We can simply create a space in between to basically space them out, and after that we can like system dot out dot print ln, right? If we do that, I guess this will be simply printing out, right? So print ln के उससे हमें नया space मिल जाएगा. Let's try it out.
Sir,
सर
it's not
वेबसाइट वर्क नहीं कर रही, कोड रन ही नहीं हो रहा है पोर्टल में.
कोड रन ही नहीं हो रहा
नहीं हो रहा sir.
Portal is not working.
यार. तो फिर
सर.
तुम्हें
सबमिट हो
मतलब
जाएगा.
सर डीजीपी पे कर दो.
यार सबमिट देखते हैं. तुमने मैनेजर को बताया था पोर्टल नहीं चल रहा?
नहीं सर, अभी इशू आया है.
सबमिट भी नहीं हो रहा यार. तो आई गेस कोई बात नहीं यार. चलो आउटपुट अगर नहीं आ रहा तो आउटपुट में तुम्हें कल दिखा दूंगा. कोड समझ आ गया? कोड में कोई दिक्कत?
No, sir.
अभी हाफ एन आवर से ही प्रॉब्लम यार. कोई बात नहीं, उसका मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता. कोड, अच्छा एक बात बताओ, मतलब कोड में कोई दिक्कत आती है, मतलब पढ़ाने के स्टाइल में कोई दिक्कत है एज सच? इन जनरल में पूछ रहा हूँ, कोडिंग से हटके.
नो सर.
नहीं,
No,
जेन्युइन बात बताना, क्योंकि देखो तुम्हें समझ आना चाहिए तभी फायदा होगा, राइट? मेरे पढ़ाने का अगर कोई भी दिक्कत आ रही है तो तुम मेरे को बोल सकते हो, ऐसे कुछ नहीं है, राइट? So yeah, so if there is no issue, right, please if you ever face any sort of an issue, right, so please just let me know, right? Okay. So देखो currently ना यार, आज मैं अपने सिस्टम पे नहीं हूँ, तो राइट थोड़े से इश्यूज आ सकते हैं. कोई बात नहीं, कल से मतलब अपने सिस्टम पे रहूंगा तो वहां से सही हो जाएगा, राइट? तो देखना ट्रांसपोज में बेसिकली इनपुट लिया एंड उसको मतलब एरे 2D एरे का इनपुट लिया और उसको प्रिंट करा दिया, राइट? ये हो गया प्रिंटिंग वाला पार्ट, राइट? दिस इज नॉट द कन्वर्जन ऑफ एन एरे टू अ ट्रांसपोज, राइट? इट्स जस्ट अ प्रिंटिंग ऑफ एरे एज अ ट्रांसपोज, राइट? Now how many of you guys like really try to make a transpose of the matrix and then simply just do a printout, right? Was there anyone who tried that? Yes. So were you guys able to do it, right? Is there anyone who doesn't know how to like actually switch the values and how to like do that? Is there anyone? And does it? Yeah. So yeah, I guess most of you guys are able to do it. Is there anyone who is not able to? Please let me know. Then I will be discussing, or let's move to the next one. Ansari, for the non-square matrices, you will be like requiring to create a new matrix, right? So let's see what will happen in that case. Let's say that in that case we will be having an n cross m matrix, right? So int we will be needing a transpose matrix that is equals to new int, right? So let's say this is n m cross n, right? So you will be like requiring n cross m matrix, right? Because what happens in matrix, right, rows and columns are going to be switched, right? So मान लो कि 3x4 की अगर तुम्हारी मेन मैट्रिक्स है तो जो ट्रांसपोज आएगी 4x3 की आ जाएगी, right? So just to facilitate कि okay, so all the like elements are going to the right place, right? So let's say कि क्या होगा देखो, right? देखो 1 2 3 4, right? Apart from 1 2 3 and 4. Now this is not a square matrix. So अगर ये proper square matrix है तो इसका वो क्या होगा, ट्रांसपोज क्या होगा, उसका ट्रांसपोज ऐसा होगा 1 1, right? 2 2, right? 3 3 4 4, right? So now you can see basically the structured is changed, right? Initially we were like doing an in place kind of thing, right? But now we can't do in place, right? Printing हो जाएगा, printing तो loop convert करोगे तो basically see in this given array we have like only 2 rows now, but in transpose we need to access the row number 2 and 3 also, right? So in that in the above case if we try to do that we will be getting an error, right? But initially as per the requirement of output that is required, so we need a new matrix to basically hold these values. So if it's not a square matrix you need to convert like generate a new matrix, right? So कैसे बनाओगे वो मैंने आपको ऊपर दिखा दिया कि ट्रांसपोज के लिए n और m को बस स्विच करना, राइट? तो वो ऐसे पैटर्न हो जाएगा. आई होप इट इज क्लियर नाउ, राइट? Yeah, so please try it out, right? Apart from that, if you guys are like really want to see how to do the switching part, right? So let's say कि right इसको comment out करते हैं, इसको any रहने देते हैं, right? Now how to try to swap, you can basically swap the values, right? इसमें भी similar सा concept होगा कि हमें आधा swap करना, right? We don't need a full swap because full swap means कि you are like nullifying the effect of the first half, right? So let's say कि how will you do so I is equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, cool, for int j is equals to I plus 1, I plus 1, j is less than n, j plus plus, right? So we can do is ki int c is equals to matrix at ij, right? Matrix at I comma j is equals to matrix at j comma I, right? Now matrix at j comma I is equals to, now this is the switching of the upper half, right? So upper half only, right? See what is happening ki isme dekho, like 1 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3 3 4, right? Now we need to swap only for these upper half, right? We have a diagonal that is 1 2 3 and 4. We need to just switch for these 3 values with these 3 values, right? So that's why we can do this, right? Because if you have a clear look, if I is 0, what is j? J is going to be 1, right? I plus 1. Now if I is 1, what is going to be j? J is going to be 2. So this is the starting point, right? So it will be working on the 2 values that are left. So this is how you basically solve the upper half only, right? Now let's do a simple printing I and j. So now see what is happening ki first we are like doing the inputs, then the middle loop is basically doing the conversions, or you can say the swap of the actual matrix to the transpose matrix, and then we are printing it out, right? Simple. That is the exact solution, right? Now is there anybody who has doubts? Anyone with any doubts?
सर इसका आउटपुट दिखा सकते हैं
फिर इसका आउटपुट मैं भी
ऑनलाइन
Hmm?
सर कोड शेफ में या फिर ऑनलाइन जेडीबी में?
Sir, I didn't get the
Course-
19th line.
कौन सा 19th line? This one.
Yeah, up to 23. That whole code.
Okay. See, what is happening is let me just create a matrix for you. Right. Now see, this is the matrix, right? So what is this upper half doing? I moves in rows, right? I moves row wise, right? This is how the movement of I is going to be, right? Let's say okay. So apart from that, J is starting from I plus 1. See, initially, if I is 1, right? Let me just write the values also. If I is equals to 0, right? What is J going to be? If I is 0, what will be the value of J be? Yes, I'm explaining it. See, J will be I plus 1. That basically makes it 1, right? See, so what is the exact position of 0, 1? I can say this is the exact position. Sorry, this one. This one. The second one is going to be the position of the pointer of the matrix, right? Now, if this is going to be Ij, now what is going to be Ji? I can say Ji is going to be this 2 wala, right? This first 2 is going to be Ji. Now, if I swap these two values, I will be getting a transpose like a structure, right? So what will happen is, see, this 2 will be replaced with 1 and this 1 will be replaced by 2. Now you can see, I only did an operation of single element, that is this 2. Now after this, the J moves until it is less than n and it increments 1 at a time. Now what will be the next part? So after 2, I can say it will move to 2. Now what is 0, 2? This 1, right? Now I will be swapping it with 2, 0. What is 2, 0? And this is 3, right? So let's quickly do that also, right? This is going to be 1 space, right? This will become 3. Now similarly, if I just move J once again, now it will be 3. Now what is 0, 3? This last form, this last one, right? So it will become 4. Now 4, that is this 3, 0 will become 1. So now you can see I have swapped the row and column, right? Now what is the next element that I need to work on? I just need to work on the upper half. That means these 3 values, these 2 values, and this last value, right? Upper half of the matrix. This 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the diagonal, right? Anything above it is the upper half, anything below it is the lower half, right? So next one, I will increment, right? Now I will increment. I became 1. What is the J going to be? J, I can say is 2. What is 1, 2? This is 1, 2, right? First row and the second element. So this second one, second 2 is the first 0, 1, 2, right? Now I need to swap it with 2, 1. What is 2, 1? Just 3. So let's do that. So you can see how it is happening. This is 3, right? So now next J will increment, right? I increments 1, but J increments still it's smaller than it, right? Now again, this 2 will be swapped with the 4 and this will become 2. Sorry, 2. Now similarly, next I increments, right? You can see now J is 4, right? J is going to be 4. So we have only allowed it less than 4. So I will become 2. If that is the case, J will stay 3, right? Now, what is 2, 3? This one, 3. And what is 3, 2? This 4. So let's swap them also, 3 and 4. 4, right? So now you can see I have basically transposed it, right? So initially, you can see if I remove the blue patch, see 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, right? Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? So this is why we are just swapping the upper half. Now, if I, let's say if I move the entire matrix, right? So what will happen is, okay, the upper half will create the transpose. But when I again make a swap with the lower half, it will nullify the effect of the upper half. So I will be getting the initial values of the arrays as it, right? You guys remember when we did the swapping, reversing the array wala concept, right? In that also I told why it's really necessary when you are swapping something to basically move till the half of the range, right? Because after that it basically nullifies the effect of the initial part. Got it? Any doubts now in the swapping part? Clear?
Sir, can we swap the columns only? Only columns swap the rows.
Yes, we can like do that also, right? We can do column swap also. Let's have a look at how to swap columns in the next problem, right? Let's quickly do that. Okay. So I will be like requiring some of the code from this problem, right? To basically build on for the second problem that I'm going to discuss. So let's copy the initial part, internal structure. So I hope this problem is like pretty clear how to make a transpose, right? Now let's have a look at how to rotate a matrix by 90 degree, right? I hope this is the problem in which you guys are facing how to swap the columns. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So guys, do you know the trick of how to solve this problem? You can see I basically use the transpose, right? So I have like copy pasted the entire transpose wala code, right? Okay. So this is closing this. So yes. So first, in this problem, what we need to do is we need to do a transpose, right? If I just do this, just give me a second, right? Let's take the initial array that we were discussing on. Right. Okay. Now see. So this was the array, right? Now what did we got as the transpose? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So first we will be taking the transpose, right? Okay, so let's also like go through the problem description once. You are given an n cross n matrix, right? It's a square matrix only. 2D matrix representing an image. Rotate an image by 90 degree clockwise. So you need to do this clockwise. Input format, take two integer inputs n and m denoting the size of the 2D matrix. You will take input in the form of matrix in taking n rows, m columns, and input will be row wise. Okay. Output should be a matrix rotated by 90 degree in clockwise direction, right? So we need now two variables, that is int m also. Next int. Now see, int n is equals to sc dot next is, you can see we are like supposed to take two input variables, right? N and m. That is the problem description saying, but you can also read it's always n cross n matrix. So I can basically conclude that n and m are always going to be same, right? So if that is the case, I don't think I need to change any sort of code further, right? Because the rest of the code is same as the transpose, right? The first half of the problem is to basically take the transpose. Now, after taking the transpose, we were like discussing this. If the initial is 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, what will transpose make it? Transpose will make it 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if we like cleverly know the trick, right? The trick is to basically now swap the columns, right? What will the column swap do? It will basically do this 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can see if I like swap, like if I rotate this given array 90 degree to right side, that is clockwise, I will be getting this kind of structure, right? So you can see the intermediate step in between this was to basically first convert this to the transpose and then swap the columns. Okay. Any doubts in the trick section, right? First, take the inputs, convert it to the transpose, and after taking the transpose, please swap all the columns, right? Any doubts in the algorithm part? Then we will be jumping to the code. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's have a look at how we swap the columns, right? So I guess first we were taking the inputs, then making it a transpose. Now we need to swap the columns. So what we can do is we can like go row wise and like swap the columns, right? So for int I is equals to 0, I is less than n, right? I plus plus. Now for int j is equals to 0, j is less than n by 2, right? J plus plus. Cool. Now we need to simply do this again, right? So you can see I'm like using the exact same formula as I was doing for the row, right? Because now I'm not like considering to swap the columns at a time, right? I'm considering okay, so this is just a single array, right? I need to basically reverse it, right? So again, now I will be starting at second array row, and now I'm considering it as a single row, right? Now you can see this is the same code that I will be writing. So I and n minus 1 minus I or j, right? In this case, we need a j, right? So you can see, right? So let's basically keep it right, j. So n minus 1 minus j is equals to n minus 1 minus I. N minus 1 minus I is equals to 0. Cool. This is n minus 1 minus j, right? So you can see I'm basically using the exact same formula that we like generally use for the 1D array swaps, right? 1D rotation of the array, right? I basically explained this j minus 1, n minus 1 minus j wala part in the last class. Anybody who has still doubts in this, please let me know.
Sir, I have it.
Okay, so who is this?
Yeah, this is Satya.
Okay, so you still got the doubt in n minus 1 minus j wala part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see. See what is happening. Okay, so you got that point, right? Initially, like rather than considering the whole matrix and trying to reverse it, we are like now considering each row as an independent 1D array, right? What is 2D array? It's a collection of 1D arrays, right? Now, when you can see, I'm using an outer loop to basically iterate over all the rows, individual rows, right? Now, after this, I'm like considering each row as an independent 1D array and trying to reverse it, right? So if you have a look, you see, if I need to like see reverse the columns, what was I initially given? 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? If I reverse it, what I will be getting 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see the intermediate state as the transpose we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when I rotated it, I got a 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Let's have a look how n minus 1 minus j n minus 1 minus j is working, right? So you can say let's have a value of j, right? Initially j will be 0 and n minus 1 minus j, right? Let's say what it will be. Let's take the array also, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Right. So you can see we have 4 elements in the array. Now j is pointing at the 0th index. So which element is at 0th index?
1.
All right. Now which element is at the index n minus 1 minus j, where n is the size of the array, right? So I can also say ki n is equals to n is equals to 4, right? N is equals to 4. That is the size of the array. Okay, so what is at the n minus 1 minus j index? Which element is present? Please let me know.
Sir,
0,3.
hello?
Yes.
4.
So n minus 1 minus j will be giving me value 4, right? Will be giving me value. Will it give me 4 or 3?
3.
Okay, so I can say the index I will be getting as 3, right? Now, if I talk about the values, right? Let's also talk about the value. Right. The value that I will be getting is for j is equals to 0, what I will be getting value as 1, right? for n minus 1 minus j, I will be getting the value as 4, right? Because the index is 3. What is at index 3? You can see 4 is at index 3. ये बात समझ आई? Is this part clear? No clear. No clear. Okay, see. N is the size of the array, right? Now, n is the size. So what is the size, right? Guys, what is the size? Size is 4, right? We have 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, and 4 elements, right? After that, if I talk about what is J0, J0 means index 0. Index 0 pe I have value 1. You can see first value 1. Now it's a simple maths, right? 3 variables that I have. N I know is 4. Minus 1, I got a 3. J is 0. So minus 0 still stays 3. So index is 3, right? ये बात समझ आई? Index, how I got an index 3. Is this thing clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you know about index 3, what is at index 3? I can say index 3 is 4.
4.
Right. So I got a value 4. Now, if I swap them, what will happen? Right. I hope the swapping wala part is clear. Right. We take a third variable, we store them, and we simply do a swap. Right. We did a swap. Now, you can see j is still 0. Now, if I consider the for loop will increment the value of j. Now, what will be the incremented value of j? I can say 1. Now, if j turned to index 1, what is standing at index 1 now? What should be the changed value be? Please let me know in the chat.
2.
2.
Yes, it will be 2. Now, if j changed, I can say that this equation is also dependent on j, right? Because it has a j as a variable. Now, if j changed, what should be the changed value of n minus 1 minus j?
2.
Yes, it should also be 2, right? Because now j is incremented by 1, right? So that can say that n minus 1 made it 3, 3 minus 1 made it 2, right? Now, if this equation changed, what should be the value?
3.
I can say it can be 3, right? So you can say that now if I swap them, this will become 3 and this will become 2. Now, see what is happening, guys. If I mark a j, right? Now j moves one step at a time towards right, right? One step at a time towards right, right? Now you can see 4 ke baad 3 gaya, right? Now it basically works till the half of the array only, right? The algorithm basically works till the half of the array. Because why half? Because again, I said, when we are like working on the swaps, we basically tend to work on the half of the input, right? After that, if we like run it for the entire input, it basically nullifies the effect of the initial stage. Okay, so the answer basically returns to its initial stage. Now, if j increments once at a time and is going towards right, I can similarly say that, like, let's call it j ki jagah, let's call it y, right? To basically simplify all these things. Now I can say ki y, that is n minus 1 minus j, is like coming one level at a time towards right, right? So if I write a y here, you can see initially it was pointing to the last element, right? When j incremented, it basically reduced the value by 1. So what does the reduction mean? Reduction means ki j will come back one value. Now, is this swapping part clear? So when we like combine these two values, right, j and y, what happens is ki j and y initially point to the opposite poles, right, at the ends. What happens is ki initially they swap it, then j increments. Now see what will happen if j incremented, y will start to decrease, right? So I need a j here. You can see y will decrease. Now, if j is pointing to the first, y is pointing to c. So what is happening? Ki j will move to right once and y will move to left once. So this equation basically helps us do that. Jyoti, why j is less than n by 2? Again, see. Okay, let's continue, right? Basic by see. At this point, j is standing at 3, y is standing at right. इतना clear है. Any doubt till this point, right? इसके आगे y half वो बता दो. अगर ये नहीं समझ आया तो फिर आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे. इसी पे पहले एक डिस्कशन करते हैं. Right? ये part clear होना जरूरी because this equation will help you a lot in reversing the arrays. Simple logic. Any doubt, still let me know. Okay. All right. So if there is no doubt, let's see what will happen if we like further try and continue it. Right. So till j n by j is less than n by 2, you can see we got the actual solution that was required. Right. N by we got a reversed order. Now, if j will increment once again, right? So what will happen now? They will be like in the others domain, right? So now what will happen? Ki j will increment by once again, right? So it basically became this, right? And y will become this. Why? I will be showing you now. See, okay, so j was 1, right? So j was 1, value was 2 and all. Now let's say ki j incremented once again. Now it's 2. So if j incremented by 2, what is going to be the value now? What is the value that j index 2 will be pointing to? It will be 2, right? As per the current situation, it will be 2. We already got the answer. Now we are just trying to do further, right? So still it stays 2. You can see what is n minus 1 minus j or y. I can say it's still, it is going to be 1, right? It is going to be 1. Now, if it is 1, what is going to be the values? You can see it still stays 3, right? Now, what will happen? Key, okay, so after calculating the indexes, we will be doing the swap. So what will happen? 2 and 3. Now they basically got swapped again, right? We swapped them first to basically change their position. Then we swapped again to basically return them to their original positions, right? So this is what happens basically when you try to continue the code after n by 2. Let's continue one step more, right? Still j can go till n minus n minus 2. So j increments once again. Now what will be the index, new index of j? I can say 3. Right, so that basically means ki j is incremented to 1, value is converted to 1. What is n minus 1 minus j? See, n was 4, minus 1 made it 3, j is still 3. So now y is basically 0. Cool. So y basically reaches 0. Right, now what is the value at which y is standing? I can say it's 4. Cool. See, if I swap them again, what will happen is 4 gets swapped with 1, right? And 1 gets swapped with 4. See, you can see basically if we run it more than n by 2, it basically starts to nullify the effect of the initial changes, right? So you can see we return to the initial state, that is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Got it?
No, sir. I
Abhi
didn't
bhi
get
nahi, sir.
exactly. Exactly why you used n by 2. I didn't get that point.
भाई इस बात तो देखो n by 2 तक क्या होता है कि हम ना आधी array को swap करते हो, right? So see, what is swapping mean? We take two values and we swap them, right? Jyoti, why don't you try it on your own once, right? Why don't you try it on your own rather than me explaining? See, still if the odd number is, if the odd number is there, right? Let's say the n is 5. What is n by 2 in that case, right? See. Okay, so let's say ki n is equals to 5. Let's say odd number hai, right? What is n by 2 in this case? I can say n by 2 is 2, right? N by 2 is 2, right? So if n by 2 is 2, what is the maximum value that I can go? J can go is basically 1. So 1 into, right? So these are the only two values that it will work on, right? Third value तक वो जाएगा ही नहीं. पहली दो value swap कर दी तो last की दो value swap होगी. Middle value stays as it is, right? So it doesn't matter ki if it is an odd or even, right? Guys, please try this algorithm on your own once, right? Because if you try it on your own, you will be using your own brain, right? So that way you will be getting the insights of this algorithm, right? Rather than me explaining. See, the gist is just much simpler, right? I can't like do a much better representation, right, for this algorithm. Please try it once on your own. If you still guys face any doubts, please let me know tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be on my main system and then I will be showing with the pictorial representation, right? But today I'm like limited to the terminal itself. Cool.
सर
Yeah.
हेलो सर, डायरेक्ट कॉलम को रो में कन्वर्ट कर दे तो वैसे ही 90 डिग्री हो जाएगा ना?
डायरेक्ट रो को कॉलम में कन्वर्ट कैसे करोगे?
सर कॉलम को रो में
कॉलम को रो
एक लूप लगाएंगे सर, जे 0 से लेकर j इज लेस देन n, और सेकंड
हाँ।
लूप रहेगा i इज इक्वल टू n-1 या n-1 जो भी दिया है कंडीशन, तो उसको ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0 और i माइनस माइनस।
आई माइनस माइनस तो मतलब अभी मैं समझा
सर
रही
पहला
तो जे
जो पहला लूप रहेगा सर वो स्टार्ट होगा अपना j से, j इज इक्वल टू 0 से,
हाँ ठीक है, मतलब बाहर
और
आप आउटर
सेकंड
लूप में जेल ले रहे हो ना, ठीक है।
जी,
हाँ
और सेकंड जो लूप रहेगा i इज इक्वल टू m-1, मतलब जो भी लास्ट रो रहेगा वो,
हाँ।
उसको
अच्छा
अपन
तो
ग्रेटर देन इक्वल
तुम
टू
वो कर
0
रहे हो
से
ना कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मैं एक इंडिपेंडेंट रो को एज अ 1D array मान के उसको रोटेट रिवर्स कर रहा हूँ, राइट। तुम क्या कर रहे हो, तुम एक हर एक कॉलम को एज एन इंडिविजुअल लाइक पिलर मान के उसको लास्ट वाले के साथ स्वैप करोगे, वैसे कह रहे हो।
करेक्ट।
तो जैसे मतलब जे को 0 को n-1 वाले के साथ स्वैप कर दिया, राइट।
Yes,
स्वैपिंग आप दोनों में कर सकते हो, पर आपकी वाली स्वैपिंग में क्या है कि आप कॉलम में देखते हो, राइट। मैंने ये आपको इसलिए चूज करा है क्योंकि 1D array की स्वैपिंग आपको आती है, राइट। तो इसको देख पाना कि मल्टीपल 1D arrays को इंडिपेंडेंटली स्वैप करो, बात एक ही, आप कैसे भी स्वैप करो। मैंने आपको हर बार बोला कि एक ही कोड को करने के ना 10 तरीके होते हैं, राइट। तो बस यही है, आपको किसमें इजी लगता है आप वो कर सकते हो, राइट। बेसिकली राइट, इट्स बेसिकली क्लियर, राइट।
उसमें सिंगल लूपिंग में काम हो जा रहा है, बट एक्चुअली
उसमें सिंगल लूपिंग नहीं लग रही, लग तो उसमें भी 2D लूपिंग ही लग रही है, आप ये कह रहे हो ना।
हाँ
एक बार
लग
देखो,
रही है टू, लेकिन
फॉर int j is equals to 0, j is less than n, j
Yes.
plus plus, right।
यस
आप ये कह रहे हो ना। उसके बाद फॉर int I is equals to 0,
नहीं सर, n-1 यदि
I is equals
स्क्वायर मैट्रिक्स है तो n-1, और यदि नहीं है तो फिर m-1।
I की इनिशियल वाली तो 0 ही रखोगे ना।
नहीं सर, n-1
m minus n minus 1, अच्छा।
n-1
I is equals to n-1 and j is
नहीं सर, i इज
greater,
ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0,
I is greater than equal to 0, all right। so उसके
i
बाद
माइनस
I
माइनस माइनस माइनस
minus I minus minus, so
इसमें एसओपी
इसके
देके सर मेट i इंटू j कर सकते हैं।
इसमें SOP देके मैट
i इंटू
क्या
j।
कर, मैट आई जे, राइट। तो इसमें हुआ क्या, आपने एक सेकंड को देखो, आपने जे पे काम करा, राइट। सो यू बेसिकली प्रिंटेड कि ये अगर है तो आपने जे ये वाला कॉलम लिया, राइट। हाँ तो आपने प्रिंटिंग उल्टी करा दी ना।
हाँ सर, एक बार मतलब रिवर्स कर दिया उसे।
आपने रिवर्स नहीं करा, आपने सिर्फ अभी प्रिंटिंग कराई, राइट। रिवर्सिंग तो ये वाला पार्ट कर रहा है, और इसमें भी आई गेस आपका रिवर्स सही से
नहीं
हो
सर,
नहीं,
हमें
आपने
ये इसका जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी सर, ये जो 28 से लाइन 34 तक की है वो लूप की जरूरत भी नहीं होगी, और उसके
इसकी
ऊपर वाला लूपिंग की भी जरूरत नहीं होगी।
तो ये फिर आप
सर
डायरेक्ट प्रिंटिंग करवा रहे हो ना, मैं आपको कन्वर्जन सिखा रहा हूँ, कन्वर्ट कैसे करूँ,
ओके।
राइट। प्रिंटिंग करना तो वो तो हो गया कि एक्चुअल में तो चलो प्रिंटिंग भी चल जाएगा, पर प्रिंटिंग के अलावा जब आपको फंक्शनल प्रोग्रामिंग में बोल दे कि रिटर्न करो, कन्वर्ट करोगे, तब क्या करोगे।
ओके
उस समय तो आपको इंटरनल कैसे काम हो रहा है वो पता होना चाहिए ना,
गॉट इट सर।
राइट। So I hope कि this problem is also clear, right? कि first we take the transpose and then we like convert it to that reverse the arrays, right? Please, I would like really suggest कि guys as a homework, please try to do this algorithm, because this algorithm is going to be the core of several swapping algorithms. Okay? एक बार इसको ट्राई करना, बेसिकली अगर किसी को स्नैपशॉट लेना तो स्नैपशॉट ले लो कि एल्गोरिथम काम कैसे करती है, राइट। दिस फॉर लूप, इंटरनल फॉर लूप इज वन दैट इज हेल्पिंग मी स्वैप, ओके। ऑलराइट कूल, सो लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम, राइट। आउटपुट दिखा नहीं पाऊंगा यार, कल चलेगा तो मैं आपको सारे के सारे आउटपुट एक साथ दिखाता हूँ, राइट। Okay, so let's do alt matrix sum or boolean matrix sums, anyone, Right, let's do Boolean matrix sum.
सर बुलियंस आदर्श सर ने करा दिया था,
ये हो गया.
आदर्श सर ने करा दिया था हाँ, ये
ठीक है. तो Boolean की जो फिर alt matrix sum करें. Right, see. So in this place, in this question, you are given a chessboard of size n cross n, right? Where the top left square is black. Each square contains a value. Find the sum of values of all black squares and white squares, right? So initially top left, that is this one, right? Top left, 1. This is considered to be a black square, right? Sorry?
ये हो गया है सर, आदर्श सर ने करा दिया।
ये भी करा दिया.
हाँ सर।
Nice. ठीक है. तो कौन सा बचता है? ट्रांसपोज हो गया, रोटेट बाय 90 डिग्री हो गया, ऑल्टरनेट मैट्रिक्स ट्रेवर्सल हो गया.
हो गया सर।
ऑल्टरनेट
बचा है।
मैट्रिक्स कौन सा?
स्पाइरल।
स्पाइरल बचा है. स्पाइरल ट्रेवर्सिंग ऑफ बूलियन कह रहे तुम, हो गया. ऑल्टरनेट वाला भी, ऑल्ट
Yeah,
मैट्रिक्स भी
sir.
हो गया. ऑल्टरनेट मैट्रिक्स ट्रेवर्सल हो गया.
हो गया
Yes,
ये सर, कंप्लीटेड सर।
कंप्लीटेड. तो 2 आज हो गए, राइट? तो एक काम करते हैं, स्पाइरल मैट्रिक्स को ना कल लेते हैं. पता क्यों? क्योंकि इसके लिए ना ड्राइंग की जरूरत पड़ेगी और आज मैं अपने सिस्टम पे नहीं हूँ, राइट? तो मैं कल तुम्हारे को इसको ड्रॉ करके इसको ना बहुत बड़ा वो करके दिखा दूंगा, राइट? क्योंकि इसमें ना 4 पैरामीटर्स लगेंगे तुम्हारे, वो कैसे बनते हैं ना वो एक बार बताना पड़ेगा. उसके लिए ड्रॉ करना बहुत जरूरी पड़ेगा, टर्मिनल पे नहीं होता, राइट? So इसको कल करते हैं, right? For today, let's like just wrap it up. It's almost like already 11, right? So there's no point stretching it out, right, guys? So I'm sorry for the inconvenience that happened like today. I'm like really facing some issues, right, with my knowledge system. So yeah, tomorrow we will be like doing the classes smoothly. Okay. So yeah, as a homework, please try to do that like n minus 1 minus I wali algorithm, right? Please spend in half an hour, right, with it, so that you guys are able to like have a good concept on it. Okay. So yeah, please do that as a prerequisite for tomorrow's class, right? If anybody faces any doubt in that tomorrow, please do let me know, right? Because वो आपको समझ आना बहुत जरूरी है, right? So with that note, let's just wrap it up for today, right? We will be continuing with tomorrow. Tomorrow class will be starting at the usual time, that is 10:05, right? 10:05 almost. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's class. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys.